Okay, we are starting to record the lecture now. Okay, share my screen. Oh, you guys. Any question from last time that we talked about the last two sections? No question? Okay, now let's move on to another application. So we finished 4.3 and 4.4 last time. Today is another good application for this chapter, the average cost. So the average cost is the cost of producing a number of the items, Q. Okay, so given a cost function C of Q, then we can find the average cost of producing the cost of producing a number of the item Q is given by the formula C of Q divided by Q. C of Q is the cost of producing that much number of items, and then Q is the number of the items. So C of Q divided by Q. C of Q is the total cost, and Q is the number of the item. Now let's try to go over this example. The first one. So we have this company has the cost function C of Q equal this expression, where Q is the number of the cases that of sales are produced. If 100 cases are produced, find the average cost per case. So they ask you to find the average cost, which is A of Q, right? A stands for the average cost. So they ask you to find A of Q. Now A of Q is given as C of Q divided by Q. And we know that Q in this case, the number of the item is 100 cases, right? So first thing is you need to figure out what is C of 100. And 100 for C of 100 is what? C of Q is given at this function. So C of 100, now you make the substitution of Q to be 100. Here and here. So you got 6,300 for the total cost. And to find the average cost, all we do now, we take the total cost, divide by Q. In this case, Q is 100 cases. So divide by that, you get $63 per case. So to say that we make the conclusion, if 100 cases of salsa are produced, then the average cost is $63 per case. So $63 per case when the production level is 100. Any question about anything? Are you all good? Yes? All right. You have a good, nice background, Josh. Right. The virtual background. Okay. How to visualize the average cost on the total cost curve? So how do I visualize that? Let's get back here. Okay. So we know that the average cost is equal to C of Q divided by Q. Now I can rewrite as this way. I can write C of Q divided by Q. The same thing, right? And then if I subtract 0, then the same thing. Nothing is changing. I still get the same expression right here. And then you can relate this back to the slope formula. Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1. And your X1, Y1 is 0, 0. And your X2, Y2 is Q and C of Q. So these two pair, we get the slope. So now you can see that the average cost, it's just the slope. It's just the slope of the line. From what? From the point on the curve C of Q to the origin. So let's say I am looking for the average cost at this location, at this number of Q and C of Q. All I have to do now is I draw the slope from here to the origin, 0, 0. So you just have to connect the line from that point on the curve to the origin and then find the slope of that curve, I mean that line. And what about the slope that you get here? That is equal to the average cost for that Q items. Any question? Any question? So it's simple, right? The average cost is just the slope of the line from that point on the curve to the origin. Now, after we know that, we can move on to find how to minimize the average cost. So given a cost function, how do I minimize the average cost? How do I find where is the location I should sell the number of the items to get the smallest value of the average cost? Because you don't want to have the average cost to be a big value, right? Because the smaller the average cost, the better for you. Because if you are the producer, you want to have the low average cost as much as possible so that your cost is not a lot and then you can gain profits. Now, remember, if you want to find the average cost, you have to find a slope from that curve on the curve to the origin. So I just draw a lot of the points on the curve to the origin. And I see that only this bold line right here, the black one, had a smallest slope, the minimum slope. The other one, the slope is more steeper, right? So it's only this curve right here has the smallest slope. And the smallest slope, the minimum slope, means that is the smallest average cost. And that's how you minimize the average cost. And in order to get to this curve and the origin, all you do now is you take what? You draw the line from the origin until you hit the curve at the tangent line. Remember that the tangent line is a line that is touching to the curve only at one point. And it's not crossing, it's not cutting to the line, curve. You see that this line right here, and right here, they all cut the line, the curve. But except the last one, it is passing through the curve, touching the line, and this is the tangent line to the curve. So in other words, in order to find the location that gives you the mean value of the average cost, we draw a tangent line to the curve and connecting that to the origin. And what about the point that you get from that tangent line? That location will give you the smallest value of the average cost. Question for that? All right. Okay, let's move on to this example. No, actually, yeah, this one first. Okay. Okay, so we have the function. The cost function is given at 1,000 plus 20Q. Q is the number of the units produced. Find and compare the marginal cost to produce the 100 units and the average cost of producing 100 units. Now they ask you two things: the marginal cost, the average cost. So they are two different things. They are not the same. Okay. The marginal cost, again, from the last few chapters, the marginal cost is the cost of producing the next item, and that should be the derivative of the cost function. Marginal cost is equal to the C prime or the derivative of the cost function. And how do I take the derivative of C function? using the power rule, when you take the root of 100, that should be 0. When you take the root of 20Q, that should be 20. So C prime is just $20 per unit. That is the how much you should spend if you want to make one more extra unit. So it means that after 99 units have been produced, then it costs an additional $20 to produce the next units. And then to find the average cost, again, to find A of 100, that's equal to C of 100 divided by 100. C of 100 is what? Is the cost, the total cost of 100 items. And the total cost function is right here. You make a substitution of 100 to the place of Q, get me 3,000 divided by 100, and that should be $30 per unit. And you can see that the average cost is higher than the marginal cost. And the reason is because the marginal cost does not include the fixed cost, whereas the average cost does take into the account of the fixed cost. The fixed cost is 1,000. The constant right here is the fixed cost. And you can see that the average cost is the slope. At this point is the slope of the line connecting to the origin. So this slope right here is very obvious that it is bigger than the slope of the blue line, which is the marginal cost. So in this case, the average cost is much higher than the marginal cost, because the marginal cost doesn't include the fixed cost, and the average cost does have the fixed cost in there. That's why we stack from here 1,000 for the fixed cost and so on. Any question? Okay, if you have no question, let's move on to the next example. Now, in this example, we are given a graph of function C of Q, which is a total cost. They ask you, when Q is equal to 25, estimate the following quantities and represent your answers graphically. They ask you two things, the average cost and the marginal cost when Q is equal to 25. So let's do it here. Okay, let's do it over here. All right, so part A, how do I find the average cost? The average cost right here. Let's do I right here. The average cost is equal to C of Q divided by Q. In this case, we are looking when the average cost is when Q is equal to 25. All right, so we are looking to get what is A of 25, C of 25 divided by 25. Okay, let's go down here. 25 is about here. It's about here for Q. Okay, so what is the cost of 25? The cost function is right, that is the blue line here. So you go up, it hit the curve right here. So it's about, an estimate for that is about 200, okay? So 200 divided by 25. So how much is it? How much is that? 200 divided by 25. 8? 8. All right, thank Johnny.
Of course.
$8 per item. So you can say that when we are at the production level of 25 units, then the average cost of producing each unit is $8 per item. What about the marginal cost? So that is the average cost. Now let's erase that. Then let's do the marginal cost. Remember, the marginal cost is equal to what? The marginal cost is the derivative of the cost. Marginal means derivative. So we are looking for the derivative. Remember, the derivative of the function at a point is the slope of the function at that point. Is the instantaneous rate of change of the function at that point. So in this case, we are looking for the slope, the instantaneous rate of change, or the slope at this single point right here. What is the slope at right at that point? Now, to find the slope right at that point, we draw a tangent line. Remember that from the last few chapter, we draw a tangent line to that point so that we can estimate the slope of that line. So I draw the tangent line to this point right here, and then now I want to estimate my slope of the red line right here. Okay, so how do I do that? Well, to find the slope, to find the C prime 25, I have to use the slope formula, right? Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Now I have to pick 2 points on the line, the red line. Let's pick this point, and then let's pick this point just to make it easy, okay? And then you can find this, the slope. Now this point, I think it's around like 0 and maybe 80. Yeah, around that. And then this point here, 50, and then maybe 320. Right, just estimate that. Okay, I'll call this to be like X1, Y1. I'll call this like X2, Y2. And then now this is the line, the 2 point. We can just plug the point in the formula, and then find the slope. So that should be, how much is 320 divided by 8 minus 80? How much is it? 2? How much is it? 320 minus 80?
240.
240 divided by 50. How much is that?
4.8.
4.8?
Yeah.
Okay, 4.8 per item. Okay, so you see that the marginal cost is much lower than the average cost. So this means here, when I produce the 26 item, it takes me another $4.8 to produce the next item. Okay, and then now part B, they ask you approximately what value of Q is the average cost minimized. So which value on the Q axis here will give me the mean value for the average cost. So go back to the last lecture notes. The average cost is has the mean value when we have the tangent line from the origin to a point on the curve. So from the graph right here, I go and I draw a lot of the lines, and then I will have one line that is the tangent line to the curve. And if I draw that, I should get only one line. This last one is a line from the origin. It is touching to the curve only at one point right here. And that point is around 30. So it's around for about 30 units for the production level. Then the average cost is minimized. You are looking for one tangent line, exactly that one tangent line to the curve. And whatever that tangent line touching the curve from that point to the origin, then that location will give you the minimum value for the average cost. In this case, it's 30 because this is the line that is tangent to the curve from the curve to 0, 0 or the origin. And then you have 1 point only, which is 30. Any question? Okay, let's move on to the next example. All right, let's do this one over here. Okay, who want to read the question for the class? Example 4. Any person? Anyone?
I'll read it. I got
Yes.
it. All right. Suppose 100 items are produced at an average cost of $2 per item. Find the average cost of producing 101 items if the marginal cost to the 101st item is one of the answers.
All right. Thank you. All right. So let's do this question together. Now the question asks you what? The question asks you for the average cost of producing 101 item. So always read at the question, try to identify what it's asking for, and then write that using the mathematical notation. Okay, the average cost means A of Q, right? The average cost, but Q now is 101. So they ask you for what is A of 101? What is A of 101? That is the average cost for 101 items. Okay, so let's go to part A. Part A right here. Now they give you what? Marginal cost. Marginal cost is C prime. The marginal cost to produce the 101 item. So that is C prime of 101. 101. Part A, they give you C prime of 101 equal to $1. And now they ask you, what is A of 101? Right, 101, what's that value? Okay, so first thing is A of 101, the average cost, is equal to C of 101 divided by Q. Or Q in this case is 101. Oops. 101. Remember that A of Q is equal to C of Q divided by Q, the average cost formula. In this case, your Q is just 101. Okay, so all we have to do now is we have to figure out what is the value of C of 101. What's that value? That is the total cost of 101 items. The total cost of 101 item. Now, we are also given that 100 items are produced at the average cost of $2 per item. Okay, so it's telling you that C of 100. So the total cost of 100 items is just 100 multiplied by 2 because $2 for each. So that is 200. So the total cost of producing 100 items is already $200. But now we are looking for the total cost of 101, one more extra item. And that is what? That is the marginal cost. So one more extra item is $1. So $200 when 100 item is produced. Now one more item is adding to 100 item. I add one more dollar because that's the marginal cost. So you get $201. The total divided by 101. So 201 divided by 101 is $1.99 per item. So that is the average cost for part A. Now for part B is the same thing, but they give you a different marginal cost. C prime of 101 now is not $1, but it's $3. If that's the case, then the total cost of 101 is 200 add to 3 instead of 1. So that's 203. And therefore, for part B, A of 101 equals C of 101 divided by 101. C of 101 now is 203 divided by 101. And you should get 2.01 per item. So it's higher. Okay, I'll give you a minute to digest this problem to see if you have any questions for that. Any question about this problem? No question? Are you all good? To move on? Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So yeah, if the marginal cost is less than the average cost, then increasing the production level will decrease the average cost. And if the marginal cost is bigger than the average cost, then increasing the production will increase the average cost. And the only time that they are equal is when we are at the critical point of the average cost function. Okay, let's try this next example here. Okay, I want you guys to work in a group together for this problem. So go ahead and write out this question here, and then I will split you guys up into different groups so that you can work on that. Okay, write out a problem, and then I'll split you guys into a group of maybe three students, and you can discuss and talk. So make sure when you get into the group, turn on the webcam, unmute your microphone, and speak and discuss. So you are the manager of a firm that sells slippers for $20 a pair, and you are producing 1,200 pairs of slippers each month at an average cost of $2 each, and the marginal cost at a production level of 1,200 is $3 per pair. Are you making or losing money? So that's the question we are discussing. Okay, I'll split you guys up into the groups now. Breakout rooms. Okay, please join your groups. Okay, let's just wait for another minute, 30 more seconds. So, are we losing or are we making? Are we making profits? Yes or no? Okay, let me make a poll. Okay, please click on the answer. If we are making, if you think that we are making profits, then click yes. If you don't think we are making profits, then, I mean, if you are thinking that we are making money, then click yes. If no, click no. Losing money, click no. Making money, click yes. All right, so it's look like that a lot of you guys are saying that we are making money. All right, so let's try how to, let's end the poll. So 18 people say yes, that's correct. Okay, how do I do this one? How do I decide if I'm making money or I'm losing money? Anyone want to solve the problem for the whole class? No? Okay, so the only time that you are making profits is when your revenue is higher than your cost. So let's just find what is your revenue in this case. What is your cost in this case? Revenue is equal to the price times quantity. The price you are selling for each slipper is $20, and you are selling 1,200, and that will give me 24,000. And the cost that you are making them, as an average cost of $2 each. Okay, so $2 times 1,200, so that is 2,400. So you are getting the revenue for 24,000, but you only spend now 2,400 to get those pairs. So you are getting a lot of profits, right? You are getting a lot of profits from this. So you are making a lot of money. So the answer should be yes. 24,000 minus 2,400. So that should be 21,600. So that's a lot of money. You are making a lot of profits, bigger than zero. So yes, you are making money. Any question? Okay, let's try the next example. Okay, right here. Put it here. Will increasing production increase or decrease your average cost and your profits? What do you think about that? Think about that for half a minute, and then let me know, what do you think? Will increasing production increase or decrease your average cost? And your profits. Okay, let's go over the answer. Now, we know that additional units produced cost about $3. That is from here. $3 per pair for marginal cost. So each additional unit, when you are making, you have to spend $3 each. And this one is what? It's above the average cost. the average cost is only $2. Your marginal cost is $3. It's above. So that is above the average cost. So now, if you are producing more and more and more, then you are increasing the average cost as well. And then the next part, because of the average pair, the additional pairs of the slippers cost about $3 to produce, and you are selling that back with $20, then that's you are gaining what? $17 for your profits. So you make a lot of profits when you sell each pair. You spend out $3 to make them, but you sell them back with $20. So you gain $17 when you sell each pair. So yes, the profits is also going up, it's increasing, it's going up. So the answer is, as you increase the queue, the number of the items, you are making a lot more profits, and your average cost is also increasing. And then last part here, would you recommend that production be increased or decreased? Of course, you should recommend the production level to be increased because you are making a lot of profits, right? As you make more products, you are making more money, and you should ask them to keep producing more and more and more and get more money or more profits. Okay. Any question for the last two parts, B and B? Sorry, B and C. No question, and that is the end of your section 4.5. So we almost finished chapter 4. Next week we'll have 4.6 and 4.7, and then we are done. And then we can start preparing for the second online exams. And let's go back to the schedule. So let's go back to the syllabus again, and we'll just discuss what's the schedule for the next few weeks. Okay, so we are here. Next week, Tuesday, 4.6 and 4.7, and we are done for chapter 4. So the assignments for Wiley Plus, the section 4.5, I'll make them due by next Thursday. Okay, so you have a week to work on 4.5. It's due next Thursday. 4.6 and 4.7 will be next week, and then after that, then you will have a chapter 4 quiz that is due sometime during this week. And then the midterm is supposed to be on this day, the 14th. But now we are moving to the online exams. Then I will make the midterm 2 to be due by Sunday of this week 11. So if you can, as long as you take the midterm before Sunday of week 11, before the midnight Sunday of week 11, then you are good. And then sometime next week, I will have a practice exams for your second exam on Wiley Plus as well. So you can practice that. So yes, and then after that, we'll move on to chapter 5 and 6, which is the last two chapters for the class. And the final exam is also going to be online because we are not going to return back to the campus before the ending of the semester. I'm pretty sure we cannot go back. Any question about anything for the agenda? Yes, Selby?
So is the second midterm going to be due this the 12th of April or the 19th?
The Sunday of week 11. So it's gonna be the 19th. The Sunday, the end of week 11. Yeah. So you have until the end of week 11 to submit it. So yeah, so try to stay up with your assignments, and if you need help on anything, feel free to email it to me or schedule a Zoom meeting with me individually, and then I'll help you if you have any question on anything for the class. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. So try to study hard, and then have a good weekend and stay safe.
Thank you,
Okay.
Professor.
Okay, see you guys next
Thank you.
Tuesday.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Any question, Michael? Noah?